I kill you. Indiana Pug and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Whoa, David!
David!
Woohoo! Edgar on the panel! Biggles! Darren Stevens! Welcome, Raymond Rocco!
The students, Malcolm, Raymond, and Duracco,
And B.
Copernicus.
Wow. Alrighty. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to all. Let us commence with the silliness. Let's see. We've got once again stuff and things as promised. And we thought, just to offend as many people as possible, we were going to start with what you got? What you got, Cap?
Looks like we got a newcomer to the movie night.
Ooh.
Drew G just said, someone told me I enjoy this, so I subscribed and I'm here.
Oh,
So,
welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Hopefully we don't scare you off.
Yeah, there's going to be some stupid, so we do apologize for that, but that's kind of why we're all here, to fend off the stupid.
You will be excited to know there will be people on the earth, as we speak today, who believe this stuff is true. And it will amaze you that that is the case. And you will want to drink a lot.
And if it does bring tears to your eyes that such people exist with such ideas, don't worry about it. Us too.
And as Bo just put it, fair warning, Drew, you need a substantial amount of alcohol to endure this.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do movie night come next year. I'll be living in the dorms, and you aren't allowed booze in the dorms.
Oh my!
I'm going to be putting up with this crap.
Cap?
Yeah.
Just drink soda.
Yes, soda is the thing.
Soda. I don't drink soda. Soda's disgusting. Have you ever tasted it? It dries your mouth out. I drink pop.
Well, then use hydrogen dihydrogen oxide, but don't use it in large volumes. It'll kill you.
Yes, and everything.
Dihydrogen monoxide. Get it right.
Okay, whatever.
All right. In any case, yeah. As we said, in order to, Phil wants me to remember to do his plug. Cool. Yep, we'll do that. Not to worry. Well, since he mentioned it, and we'll mention it again at the end. Hey, everybody go to Hill's channel. Not right now. No, wait. Not right now. Holy crap, 0.
Yeah. Oh, Drew, I think we might be disappointing you because I believe if I understood Sai correctly, we're going to have Yex on, not Flerfers.
Oh, no, we got some of them too.
Oh, no, we've got that. Okay. We're going to learn all about how submarines will not work on a globe Earth. I do not know that.
Card says it's time to boot Cap.
We don't discriminate against the stupid.
Already?
We take all forms.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as we were saying, in order to offend, as many people as possible, we figured we would start out with Does God Exist? Many Absolute Proofs, Part 1. By the Restored Church of God. And this one was recommended by our own Hefgar, who seems to think that, what we said, it'll offend as many people as possible. So we're going to start off with that one. Yes, sir.
So they had like this decrepit Church of God, and they came in there and did a full restoration job. They put in new fresh paint, carpeting. They put in the new Wi-Fi and all that. Put in the handicap parking because you can't have miracles in here.
No, RJ, they just painted it, but it was really thick paint, so they opened the paint and started smelling it, and then kind of forgot about everything, and that's why they're like they are.
That'll get them closer to God.
All right.
I have to say something.
Well, then say your something.
Is this going to be like History of the World Part 1 where there's never a Part 2?
I don't know.
We hope.
We'll look into it.
No, this is.
I actually have a funny story because I didn't realize it was History of the World, and it's just like, I had just come back from a football game. It was a tail, and it says, tune in for a History of the World Part 2, and I'm not knowing it was a Mel Brooks film, not knowing that was the point of the gag. I go, oh, okay, that sounds cool. I need to watch Part 1, then I'll come watch Part 2, and yeah. I didn't know that's what it was at the time. So.
Wisdom Bender is asking, subs don't work on a globe Earth. That is absolutely correct. Every attempt to put together a sandwich in a poor boy mode will not work on a globe Earth. It's proven.
Okay, well, good to know that.
Well, then
Good
again, subscribers don't work on a flat Earth either.
And save me a little time, too. What the hell happened? I just lost every freaking window.
I think I could agree with that. My subscribers don't work on a globe
Houston,
Earth.
we've had a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Sai,
yeah.
what'd you do?
I have no idea,
Oh,
but it's...
You've entered into
I
a black
hacked it
hole.
and broke it.
Oh, my. It must have been my...
Okay.
There we go.
What just happened?
What do you mean?
We weren't fast enough booting Cap.
The pug's world has been raptured.
Oh,
What
my.
just happened is that Sai tried to boot Cap and booted the stream by accident.
There
That's
we go.
I did tell Sai that I am unbootable. So I do hack his streams to make it so he can't boot me.
I do hate when that happens. Alrighty.
That's the result.
Most disturbing.
Ooh, Mr. Unite for the Children says, and idiots don't work on a globe Earth. They make flat Earth videos and e-beg instead.
No, Mr. Unite, I don't know, but could you be referring to Jaren by chance when you say that?
Okay, shh. Haven't you seen Candyman? If you mention his name, he'll show up. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it.
No, I have not seen that movie, actually. But I do know about it, and it only works if you say it in a mirror. I'm not looking in a mirror.
Oh, all right. Very good. Okay, so would you all
proceed with the stupid?
Yes. I'm assuming you would all be interested in learning whether God exists or not, because there are many absolute proofs. I'm sure everyone is just all aflutter to learn that. So
I am a dither and agog with expectation.
nice. All right. That being the case, let's get it started and see what we have here. Oh, and by the way, this is as if anybody won't recognize the weirdo speaking. It's David CPAC there. So let's see. Here we go. What fun we shall have.
Millions believe God exists. Few have proof, or even
Oh,
no proof
this
exists.
guy.
Have you proof?
What
Pause it.
what do you got?
Oh, I've
the
seen
blanket apology.
someone.
Hold on.
I think Logic did a response to this guy,
Okay.
and it's.
Hold on, Cap. Yeah, I know. Hold on, Cap. Tornado seems to have a bee in his bonnet. What bee has entered your bonnet, Tornado?
You forgot the blanket apology.
Oh, I thought that was assumed by now. Yeah, everybody.
We
there's
do
gonna
have
be
a new guy, so he won't know
Yeah.
about it.
There's going to be some.
That's true.
There's going to be some stupid coming up, and we apologize. We're actually very sorry. We hope it does no permanent damage. Well, all right. That being the case, let's get back to the winner of the Ophies game for tonight, David CPAC. Here we go.
Proven God exists? Or do you hope, suspect, feel,
Frank.
believe?
What, okay, Cap. That's pretty early in the game, but
Just plain wrong.
what do you got?
He is going to provide evidence, irrefutable evidence that God exists. That's not even wrong.
Well, okay. Well, we'll see. Now, see, that's an assertion.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he's managed to do what nobody else has ever done in the history of the universe.
It's possible.
I've seen this video.
Wait,
He
Okay.
provides none.
We'll see.
Wait,
No spoilers. No spoilers. And Squirrel, what do you got? Squirrel has buzzed, and yet he is silent. That's interesting.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
We're awaiting
did
Squirrel.
someone kill Squirrel?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Cap,
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
you know his word of the day? I have another one for you. Okay? It's actually it's four consonants. Ready? STFU. Have a nice teaming month. Please.
Okay. All right, Squirrels.
You know what's gonna happen? Then shut the fuck up and don't tell
Okay.
us. 'Cause you don't.
All right.
And yet you're speaking. Okay, Jared.
It's been a while since I watched it,
and,
so
and,
I
and, and yet you're still speaking. Jared,
Shut up.
I see
This
you
is
have
not
buzzed.
the stop for the short bus ticket. Quiet you.
I see Jared has buzzed in as well. Jared, what have you to add to this conversation?
So, speaking of doing something that is never been done, RJ, do you mean he's going to divide by 0?
Only Chuck Norris can do that. I was wrong. It was Arn Ra who did this guy, not Logic. Sorry.
All right.
Xenomorph just corrected that. So.
All right.
You're jumping in again. Was Hathgar finished?
Indeed. Okay, here we go. Let's let him make some assertions and see what he has to say. Although I did not object to having that one drink to start off with. Here we go.
Think he does. Can his existence be scientifically proven?
No.
Can you know with certainty that an all-intelligent mind created the universe and all life on Earth, including you?
Nope.
Must the answers be accepted on faith? This series covers the existence of God and will be among the most important you ever watch. In under 2 hours, you will see it is impossible for God not to exist.
Tornado, what do you got, sir?
Did I just see 5 parts of this video?
Oh, yeah.
There's only 4.
You did. And here's a better one for you.
What do you got?
Just about every argument I'm going to predict this now, having not seen any of the 4 or 5 parts in question, that he is going to not even be wrong, because everything he has to say from here on out will be some version of either the blind watchmaker or the what the hell is that again?
Ontological complexity.
Oh yes, that's another one.
I'm not going to say anything.
All right, you say that, Cap.
The blind watchmaker, or it'll be the God damn it,
teleological.
No, not that one.
Anthropic.
The anthropic principle would be one. No, I'm thinking about the one is, if you're going, whether you believe it or not, it's going to. You've got a better chance of.
Pascal's wager.
That's it.
There we go.
There we go. Yes, he must be drunk. He isn't able to remember Pascal's wager off the tip of his tongue.
Well,
It's showing Pascal's Las Vegas, remember. We
should mention that Squirrel's still a bit under the weather, so if anyone thinks he doesn't sound like Squirrel, it's not an imposter. It is actually Squirrel. He's just feeling like crap tonight.
I have been confirmed. I had to go out for a haircut earlier today.
All righty.
We want to get back to our preacher, who also resembles somebody who sold you that defective septic tank.
All right. And here we go.
Not just improbable or that the case is strong, impossible. All doubt of his existence will vanish.
Okay.
You will also see how God describes atheists. This series squarely faces basic questions. To those with an open mind, it will be life-changing.
Try
the world.
Squirrel? Yes. What have you?
You're talking about open minds. You were absolutely fucking wrong. Okay. You can provide me with some actual evidence that I can touch, look at, feel, sniff if I want to. Okay, then I'll think about it. I really will consider it. If you have any irrefutable proof, I will convert immediately. The problem is you don't. You don't. You really don't. And you're
3 drinks just to get through the introduction. That's a good sign.
Pretty much.
Squirrel.
Wait.
Is not even wrong on its face. It cannot be wrong.
We've got. Wait. Who?
Squirrel.
I don't know this name.
What?
It's by the
time.
Who is this? I don't know who this is. Well.
Oh, he's a good guy. He's often been on Sean Red's and a few other people's channels.
Oh, great. Well, welcome. Howdy.
But Squirrel, I just got to say this.
And
I find your lack of faith in his ability to provide evidence disturbing.
All right.
Okay, Cap.
Yeah.
You're booted.
Here's
your cup. Here's your mug of STFU. Go for a little while.
All right. Anyway,
this guy is not even wrong. He hasn't even. And this is the guy that sold you the defective septic tank. This is the guy that drilled the well through your septic tank.
all right.
No, it's all cool.
Well, I'm going to be taking diligent notes because I want to know every single one of his absolutely conclusive arguments so that I can be so completely edified by them.
All right.
Yeah, he's still not even wrong.
As everybody, I think, is in the buzzer room to buzz in. Oh, except our by the time most recent join is up. Wow, popular tonight. Who's joining? Let us see who else is joining the party. Wisdom Bender is back. Nice.
Hey, Wisdom Bender.
Wisdom
Hey,
Bender.
Wisdom.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Nice to see you. All right.
We're going to hear the proof of God now.
Everybody hop into the, if you don't have, can someone put the link up? There's Heathcart putting the links up.
Guild Wars Runner is hoping that the god he proves exists is Ishtar.
Ishtar rules in Yahweh.
It's better than the old movie, though.
All right. Everybody who's not in the buzzer room, try to sign into that. And
anybody who is buzzed without being in the buzzer room, nobody's going to care.
Indeed. And, all right, Peter, was that a test buzz, or do you actually have something to add?
No, that was a buzz because I haven't said anything yet, so I thought it was my turn.
Okay, well, you're all right. Your turn to change.
First of all, I want to thank Squirrel because he has altered his voice to the point where he can't talk over us anymore, and I think that is brilliant. So we have to commend him for the effort, I think. And then there was a request in the side chat. Edgy emo atheist said they need to boot Cap. So I wanted to bring that to attention as well. But the guy you have on tonight, I think 25 response videos to the series that that this is part one of.
All right, so you're well equipped to answer this then.
They're not response videos by me. I was requested by a guy who made them, some long-haired guy from Garland, Texas, called Arn Ra.
Damn hippies.
Yeah. He asked me to mirror it because he was afraid that they were going to strike his channel, and he wanted to have a mirror up, so that's why they're on my channel.
Why is everyone afraid that these guys will just copyright strike people into oblivion?
Because they can, and they will, and they succeed. That's the problem.
Yeah, if you get 3, your channel is down. So that's why.
And that's
so anyway,
you're done.
Let's what do you say we get back to the stupid and let's see what goes on here.
Okay.
And let's let him get some actual assertions. Oop.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I misunderstood. I wanted to give the microphone to Cap, but you meant something completely different by let's get back to the stupid.
Oh my.
Sorry.
By the way, Peter, you saw your new avatar for Cap.
No.
Wasn't that
Why
brilliant?
Did you bring that up again?
No, there will be no talk of the avatar.
No.
Heat shield. There's nothing wrong with hippies. That was just another South Park reference. Cartman. Damn hippies.
Okay. Sai, can I make a solemn promise that I will not mention Cap's avatar?
Okay.
During the entire show.
Duly accepted.
Mm-hmm. I'm making no such promise, though.
All right.
RJ, you need to work on your evil laugh.
I know. I tried to do a correspondence school course on evil, but it was awfully difficult.
All right, I've got a very original idea. I'm thinking. Well, first we boot Cap, and after that, I suspect we should get back.
I think we're doing good in delaying the show.
Oh yeah, you're doing a kick-ass job. I gotta say.
Laugh on command.
What?
What?
All right.
Can you do that laugh on command? So if I ask you, Cap, laugh, or if I just say laugh, then you do the laugh?
No. I was just showing what an evil laugh is.
Okay, and good. I think we've all learned something tonight. Let us move on with the video. And
I don't listen to you.
It's like I hope you're not talking to me.
Yeah.
Peter.
That
was
okay,
directed
all
at
right.
Peter, not you, Cy.
All right.
Yeah.
Let us move on. It's only the 5th time I've said that. Let's see if it actually takes this time. Here we go. Here comes the stupid.
World to come. The Restored Church of God presents David C. Pack,
Hi, David.
author of 80 books and booklets, editor-in-chief of The Real Truth magazine, read by countless and growing numbers in every nation and...
Hefgar, what do you got?
I might have misread it because I was just glancing back to the screen from something else. But didn't one of those magazine titles say "The End of the World"?
Yeah.
They've got stuff to say, but he's got stuff to say about that too. So that's not
happening
improbable.
sometime before or after the meeting that does or doesn't happen between Trump and Un.
Indeed. And Peter, what have you?
Yeah, I just want to add an observation that I've made in the time that I've been on social media and alive, for that matter. If there's real truth in the title of anything, whether it be a video, a magazine, an article, rest assured, there's nothing even remotely true following that title.
I would
Just want to have it out there.
Absolutely. All right, and Cap, you have something to annoy us?
Yeah, truth of the matter. Oh snap! It's the restored truth of God. We're fucked.
All right.
And he even missed the insult. Great.
Yeah, very good. Jared. Okay.
Yeah. I thought someone else was going to mention it, but there's a new hashtag in the chat that we need to be aware of.
I was
hashtag bootcap.
I am so loved on this stream.
Are you still here?
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, I made it impossible to boot me. You try that, your stream goes down.
Well, the stream didn't go down, but the stream didn't go down. But oddly enough, every window minimized. I thought I lost you all.
See,
anyway,
see, that's what I do. I mess your stream up if you try and boot me.
You are strong in the force.
Are you trying to be the ghost in the shell?
No, I just hacked the system.
Aha! All right.
Hack the planet.
He's not cute enough to be Major Kusanagi.
I'm wondering who's going to be getting all these movie references I'm going to throw out today.
I got Ghost in the Shell. I haven't seen it. The other one I didn't get.
Cap,
go back into
hacking
the 70s
Cap.
stuff, man. That's
no. Hack the Planet is early 90s. Hackers.
No, I was.
Cap. Read out loud Blue Ouija's comment just to make me feel better.
We love you, Cap.
There you go.
I know you guys.
Cap. Oh yes, we do.
All right. Squirrel's
got to give you a hard time back.
Squirrel's got a buzz.
Cap, listen. Hacking the system. Do you think that's allowed?
Probably not.
I allow it.
I should mention Squirrel has buzzed.
Okay.
Squirrel has buzzed. Squirrel, what do you got?
Done. Watch my avatar.
Cap.
You don't sound like
that. If you say anything about watching Ghost in the Shell, that again, I will come through this microphone and kick your ass.
Oh
my! Go read Ghost in the Shell before you even think about looking at that stupid freaking movie.
All right, we're starting.
Okay, I just hadn't really planned on ever really watching it at all. So
all right. We're a minute and 18 seconds in, and we're 23 minutes in.
You see some pretty flags, though.
Wisdom Vendor has buzzed. We haven't heard anything from Wisdom Vendor tonight. What have you to add, sir?
Yeah, I just joined shortly ago. But if someone is going to be coming through the microphone, I'd like to put an ear condom on. Please let me know.
All right, it's a little early for that kind of talk. But
this, I think, could be an important demonstration for the world of science if any of that actually happens.
All right. Harry says get on with it or we'll be here all week, and he's actually right. So let's get on with the video. Here we go. Then let it get past the intro. Let him get that.
Let him say something stupid.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Stupid.
Moving on.
Territory of the world. In a violent age full of war, famine, pollution, disease, disasters.
What?
Wow.
Violent world Yeah, that's why.
Dude,
at least,
let it go
even
through
here
the
in
intro.
US and stuff, crime has been going down.
It's just his
Violent crime?
intro. Let it go. Let it go.
He's still wrong.
Goose Fraba. Here we go.
Goose Fraba.
Moving on.
No clue what that is.
Moving on.
And economic uncertainty and ever worsening bad news. Answering life's greatest questions straight from the Bible and
like where do flies go in the rain?
Announcing the wonderful good news of the world to come. And now, David C. Pack.
People have debated the existence of God for thousands of years. Most conclude it cannot be proven one way or the other. The majority think the answer lies in abstract philosophy and the metaphysical. Others become agnostics, asserting they don't know if God exists. Those who do accept his existence often do so passively, merely because they were taught it from childhood. Some don't care. Many.
All right, Jared. Jared, what do you got, sir?
I'm really curious. So there's believers and the non-believers are agnostics. Is he going to try to pull a no true Scotsman fallacy for atheists?
Probably.
Maybe. But see, there's an argument to be made, and actually this is a good thing to actually talk about, even though it's going to delay things a little bit. I think that there are agnostics that, that they're not sure and they want evidence. I really think that even the most hardcore atheist or anti-theist that I've talked to anyway, if given evidence, would change their views. Which, does that not make them basically an agnostic, more or less? What do you guys think?
There's been a lot of philosophical dragouts on this sort of thing, but the general point is that if any gods, and I by the way, we could call out any gods that currently exist. We welcome you to join in the chat, come down into the room, make sure you have a nice avatar. We really want to hear from you. So if God of Abraham or Zeus or Marduk or some of you little shy ones like Quetzalcoatl and that, haven't been around for a while, please come on in. We invite your presence because we would really love to have a chat.
Absolutely. And look at it like this.
RJ,
Satan
my
showed up.
beloved child, behold, your wish is granted.
Cap, who knew that God had a voice suspiciously similar to Cap?
Indeed, it is. That is a bit of a surprise.
Can I chime in on your question?
Okay, please do.
Okay, so atheism and theism addresses belief.
Yeah.
Agnosticism and Gnosticism addresses knowledge.
Agreed.
So you can be an agnostic theist or a Gnostic theist, and you can be an agnostic atheist and a Gnostic atheist.
Well, you're just a damn hair splitter there, Pete.
Okay, everybody look at the chat. Well, you made the request. It happened. Okay, you had to make the request. Now he's here. Everybody look busy. God, Yahweh, is in fact in the public chat. Everybody look busy.
Okay,
God's here.
That's good to know. This is a first. We are the very first program anywhere on YouTube that actually has the presence of God.
All right.
Okay. If I
got it. Hold up. Squirrel has buzz. Let's let him go before his head explodes. Squirrel, what do you got?
See, he's actually missing a few. There's also the atheist who has no idea what the hell he's even talking about and can't seem to wrap their heads around how there is even an argument, because there is no consistent, clear, and functional definition of a God.
Okay.
Love these people.
Okay. Yeah, but then I have to disagree with that. I have to disagree with that, Squirrel, because whether or not we have one single definition of God or 1 million definitions of God, that doesn't do anything to whether or not you're an atheist. It's just you're atheist towards
the point that they're making by saying atheist is that I don't know or I don't believe because I don't even understand the claim.
Okay.
Well, if you don't understand the claim, then I suggest you submit yourself to a facility that will help you feed yourself and wipe your ass, because I think we can all talk and listen.
the point of saying I don't understand the claim is just pointing out that the definition is unclear.
That is
or inconsistent.
An unclear definition is still a definition,
right?
And can be understood.
Let's see what after post Squirrel we had Wisdom Vendor who has Buzz. Let's see if he has something to add. Sir, what have you?
Well, on this subject, I think that the word atheist doesn't really represent what most people think it does. And I think that the word non-theist would represent more what most atheists consider themselves as being. If you're theist, you obviously have a belief in a deity.
Mm-hmm.
If you're or a controlling deity. If you're atheist, then that implies anti-theist. It does imply it. I don't know. Wait. I don't think of it that way myself.
Go ahead.
I think of atheist in the way I think as the rejection of the claim of theism. I reject the claim that a God exists. But if we use the word non-theist as opposed to atheist, I think it would apply more to what most people consider themselves when they think themselves as atheist. Now, when we get into Gnosticism and agnosticism, I think technically we are all defined as agnostic because no one fucking knows.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people may claim to know, but how many people actually define themselves as Gnostic anything?
I would question both the validity of both the Gnostic theist and the Gnostic atheist, because I can't be sure. I can't be 100% sure and say that nowhere in any universe does such a being exist.
Can I disagree again? I know I'm being pedantic, but I still disagree.
You can.
Because you can be a Gnostic atheist to a particular God claim.
Wait.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I have to agree. I want to agree with you, Peter.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
I want to agree that, by definition, some gods cannot exist. I agree.
Yeah. If, for instance, you are putting forward the God of the Bible, then I can say I'm a Gnostic atheist towards that God, because that God can't exist by the mere laws of logic. I can be 100% sure that God doesn't exist.
I totally agree with that, but no one actually calls himself Gnostic atheist. They call a lot of times the word
correct because
feet on the sweatshirt though.
Something I wanted to point out when you were going over that was it is much more likely for a theist to claim to be Gnostic than an atheist.
Yeah, but my point was that Gnostic actually addresses the actual knowledge. They don't have the knowledge. It doesn't address claim of knowledge. It addresses knowledge.
Quite true.
Yeah.
All right, and I think RJ has something to add here. Sir, what have you?
Well, I just wanted to remind everyone that regarding our personal appearances of gods, Beach 8 has an important announcement. Xenu, white courtesy phone. Xenu, white courtesy phone.
Yeah.
Very good.
I have a commentary that.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Yahweh is in the chat. So I'm a skeptic. I will need proof. I will need at least one miracle, and I'll make it an easy one. Make the chat go upside down, and I'll believe that you're a God.
And also, Yahweh
for
owes
all
Bilu money.
Alzheimer's cured.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing about. Apparently, Yahweh lost a bet to Bilu.
Boy, God certainly come downhill since he was making big, impressive stuff that made look good in Cecil B. DeMille movies.
Well, to be fair, God does have a point. There haven't been enough blood and fire sacrifices for him.
That's true. Yeah,
they do need.
That's the problem. Everything has gone downhill because we've stopped burning things in sacrifices.
I have good news.
Mm-hmm.
Summer is coming here, so there will be a lot of barbecue.
Okay, good.
Am I doing it wrong?
They're supposed to summer the person.
So
no, I was thinking of blood and fire sacrifice.
So if we just throw the ribs on the grill and cook them, can we say that's a sacrifice, even though we eat them after? Is that okay?
Sure, we can.
All right, cool.
No loopholes were allowed.
No.
To the fire, and all we do is remove the excessive material that remains afterwards, so we can eat it. I mean, what's the difference, eating it or throwing it away?
Absolutely, I agree. And that's
well, I know I'm going
to
to regret this, but I think we need to resume the show.
All right.
Well, I do have a comment for Mr.
Agreed.
I've been wanting to read for a while.
Okay, Cap, go ahead. We don't want to miss.
This was back when I did the God voices. It said everyone knows that God sounds like George Burns.
Yes.
I thought our residential dinosaur expert from Living at Times might appreciate that humor.
All right.
No, God sounds like Morgan Freeman.
Maybe not anymore.
The false God sounds like Morgan Freeman.
That's after the resurrection.
That must be
it. But if
it.
God sounded like George Burns, wouldn't that be more appropriate, seeing that he needs blood and fire sacrifices? I mean, that would be a little bit closer to the truth.
Well, the chat
like
did
George Burns is God. I'm just curious. Did you know George Burns did a God movie?
Well,
now I'm wondering if Peter knows this.
The chat did ask God which version of himself he preferred. Did anyone see the answer?
No. I wasn't watching chat. My mistake.
I missed it. What do we got?
Did you by any chance read James's Twitter timeline? Because I think it was James who came up with the question, if he's a follower of Christ, ask him which Bible version is correct. Which Bible version did Jesus use? Can we find that anywhere? Or wasn't that you, James?
Oh, yeah. Rather than talking about what denomination somebody is from, ask which Bible version they're using. Are they Catholic, Orthodox, or Protestant? That pegs them down independent of specific denomination and can get fistfights going very quickly.
Yeah, that's what I
really?
All right.
So Z-Morph asked the question, who played you better, George Burns or Morgan Freeman? And God's response was, is that even a question, Z-Morph? It was Alanis Morissette. Seriously,
exactly.
How can Jay and his hetero life mate Bob go wrong?
All right. Very good. All right. I suggest we continue, being an entire 2 minutes and 9 seconds into this fabulous production, and let's let him make some assertions that we can actually respond to. Here we go.
Many of these cannot be moved from their apathy. Atheists, having concluded God does not exist, represent a special category God describes.
Peter, what do you got?
Drink atheists have not concluded God does not exist.
Quite true.
We'll have to wait for the claim that you make, and if the claim is incorrect or even contains information that renders this God impossible, then we conclude, not before.
Quite correct. And Cap, what have you to add, sir?
Yeah, ad hominem coming in. What he has on the screen, the fool said in his heart, there is no God. That is basically saying, yeah, you're wrong because you're a fool, because you don't believe in God. That is an ad hominem fallacy.
Well, yeah, but that's not him making it. That's the book. Somebody many thousand
But
years
he's using
ago made
the argument.
Hold on. The book, Matthew 5:22. Go look it up. If you call someone a fool, one-way ticket to hell.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, double standard too.
So the Bible itself is going to hell?
Yeah.
Couldn't happen to a better book.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Is that the Bible asking for a book burning? Sorry, I got distracted and
got a little happy there. All right.
I had a happy thought.
Okay. Let's see what Hefgar.
Well, clean it up. Paper towel.
Hefgar, what do you got?
So, and I know this has been brought up before, but particularly for this particular verse. But yes, let's use a verse from the book that wants you to believe in it, telling you that people that don't believe in it are idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a discussion, very brief discussion on Twitter today that someone that the proof of all this Ken Hamishness going on was the Bible, and I merely indicated that no, the Bible, that's part of the claim. That's not the evidence. That's part of the claim.
But
yes, Cap.
But Sai, don't you know that the Bible is the word of God, so therefore it has to be believed because it's the word of God, and it's the word of God because it says it's the word of God, and God doesn't lie because the Bible says it doesn't lie, so therefore it's honest. You have to believe it because it's the word of God, and it's the word of God because the Bible says it's the word of God.
Dizzy.
All right,
Yeah.
Cap.
Well,
We need a break in the loop.
Yeah, really.
Bo Halbo in the chat is getting dizzy as well. So I love it that he calls me a fool, but he's still going to hell 4 times now.
Oh, look, NANA has. Oh, thank you. And he has first class
Got
tickets.
first class tickets to hell.
Nice.
Apple
nice.
Crow wanted to know. I'm assuming this is in reference to the Bible going to hell. Apple Crow wanted to know if that's how the Bible becomes the Necronomicon.
Perhaps.
And I want to know from NANA, does he get a meet and greet as well?
Well, it depends on which tickets, obviously. And knowing him,
I think it's a meet and greet and a reach around.
But oh my! So I suspected.
No, you only get the
he would
reach
not have a
around
cheap
if you get fucked in the ass.
All right, what kind
the
of
only time a reach around's good.
Cap? What kind of talk is that? Jesus, it's almost like there's some kind of avatar somewhere.
Ken,
No,
do you want to tell us more? Do you want to tell us more about that experience that you had?
Yeah.
Wait, Kat, are you saying that
All
you
right.
Quite
need a reach
simple.
around?
All right,
It's quite simple. It's from Wolfenstein 3D on a certain level. You have a Nazi that tries to come around and fuck you up the ass, and you get your reach around.
All right, Cap. First off, we've not had enough alcohol for you on full blast, so calm it down a little bit if you don't mind.
Sorry, I was reading that loud.
These things happen, I guess. Apparently they happen to people other than myself, but that's cool. All right, let's see. Is anybody? Oh, Jared has something to add. Is it a request to boot Cap? Okay, I called it. I called it. All right, let's move on and see what kind of foolishness awaits us.
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. You will learn why God twice calls atheists fools. Almost 50 years ago, I learned of absolute proof God exists.
Oh, cool.
My studies lasted 2.5 years. I came to realize I did not have to accept his existence on faith. Science has learned much more, and the case for God is now airtight. This broadcast begins presenting numerous absolute proofs God does exist.
Okay.
Some proofs will amaze you, others will inspire you, still others will surprise or
Others
even
will make us
excite you.
barf.
Peter, what do you got?
I actually want to agree with him.
Okay.
The case about the existence of God is indeed airtight.
Okay.
Buried and hidden from everyone on the planet.
It's about as airtight as you can get. All right. Jared, what have you?
I want to call drink because of what's on the screen right now below him. Isn't it not unchristian to profit from your spreading of the word of Christ?
Okay.
Isn't it not unchristian? Jesus
It is
Christ!
unchristian
You want me to untangle
because
that?
Jesus said not to.
Can I ask another question about what we have on screen right now?
Sure, he who has not buzzed, go right ahead.
Why? Yeah, because the topic was raised, and I'm curious why a Christian scholar would have a website where he advertises this planet as the planet to have an orgasm.
Because Peter, it's the best one we know of. Because if you go in outer space, you tend to be a little short of breath, and those spacesuits don't work very well.
It's in the URL. World to come orgasm.
We get it, Peter. All right. So that was. Let's see. Did we? Well, now I'm all lost on the list. Jared, you got to say your thing, right?
Mine.
All right. And look at the top of the list. Cap wants to annoy us a little. Cap, go ahead.
I was just going to point out something what Edgy said after he called us fools. It says, "Hey, how are you fellow fools doing?" That was pretty funny. So, and to answer Jared's question, yes, it is unchristian to profit off the Bible because that's what Jesus got so mad about when he put the tables in the temple and made a whip to drive them all out with.
Indeed.
Wasn't it a scourge?
All right. So what was that? Like 50 Shades of Jesus? Is that what you're talking about?
All right. A whip and that was. He did hang around with 12 other dudes. So take your pick on what he was doing.
50 Shades of Jesus was Passion of the Christ.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Let us.
Please don't remind me of that film.
Okay. Strike it from your memory. Maybe God Yahweh in the chat can strike it from your memory.
I mean, I really do not care to know about after the title that Peter brought up. I don't want to know about Jesus' passion, so I agree.
You're
just lucky. You're just lucky, Cap, that Karis isn't here because Karis came up with a show she wanted to do on Greg Locke, which would have been titled 50 Shades of Locke. Oh, 50 Shades of Greg. Sorry, 50 Shades of Greg instead of Greg.
Okay. All right. On that note, we're almost 3 minutes in. Just for kicks.
Along there.
Just for kicks. Let's see what he's got.
So maybe that 30 rack isn't going to be enough.
All right. Yeah. Here's what we're doing. We're following Cap Quieter. I'll boot you. We're going to do what Factard recommends. He says, "Who else wants to let it run for at least 1 minute before drink call?" Let's actually do that. And let it go further.
Idea.
Yeah, let it go further if he hasn't.
Something in about 20 seconds that I want to call on. Damn it!
Yeah. Well, no, you can still say it. Just remember what you got to say. Maybe jot it down on something so that.
By the way, at the moment he is in the O phase.
Again.
Yeah.
Again. All right, here we go. We're gonna.
I was gonna say, sorry, you accusing us of stalling,
dude. You were gonna say.
Cap.
You said.
Cap.
How can you say you were gonna say and then say? See, if you were gonna say. That means you're not going to say, but you said. So, I mean...
Yeah, this is positively circular.
I was asking if you were going to... If that's what you were saying.
No, you said you started your thing with, I was going to say. And then you said. So
I meant, are you trying to say? Sorry.
Okay, all right, Cap. I was going to say, Cap, shut the fuck up. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Stuff you.
Because it's up there's that hashtag again. All right, let's move on. We're gonna let it go for about a minute. And if you want to let it go, if nobody calls drink after a minute, that's cool too. If you want to wait, but everyone just remember what point you wanted to address, and life won't suck nearly as much as it did, minutes ago. Here we go. Moving on.
All of them will fascinate you with their simplicity. You will soon never again doubt God's existence. In fact, just part one will convince you. We will first examine some traditional proofs and then consider material at the cutting edge of scientific proof before returning to older proofs. We will explore astronomy, biology, chemistry, and mathematics.
I just did the hedges out front.
A second great question is unavoidable and inseparable from the question of God's existence. Whether there is life on Earth because of blind, dumb luck through evolution, or because of special creation by a supreme being.
Ooh, I'll be waiting for that.
Did all life on Earth evolve over millions of years, as evolutionists assert? Or did an all-powerful God author it? Most people assume evolution is true, just as millions assume God's existence. I also studied evolution versus creation in depth during the same period I sought to prove God.
Okay. 1 minute, and let us. That last one, somebody should have clicked for that. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go in order by the buzzes. Let us go to Sir Cap the Annoying. Go ahead, sir. What do you got?
Yeah, I like the name. But okay, physics, mathematics, biology, chemistry, all those fields. Can he please explain me why that is why those fields are predominantly atheist if the evidence is so clear? Two, you studied evolution? I don't think so.
Okay.
And three, false dichotomy, evolution versus special creation. Yeah.
Okay. Accepted. Nicely done. Wisdom Vendor, you're next on the list. What have you to add for your drink call?
Well, he said part one will absolutely convince you. And I think that's kind of an oxymoron statement. If part one convinces you, why name it part one?
And why does there need
his goal is to
And why have a part two?
Wisdom.
Yeah,
I
why
got
do
a
you need a part
question.
two to convince you of the existence of God if part one will convince you?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I agree. And let's. Cap was gonna say something, so let's let him go ahead.
I was just going to ask Wisdom, when he says is an oxymoron, is there supposed to be emphasis on moron?
And I should mention.
Well, not in that particular statement, but it does apply.
Yeah, right. And Cap, you did ask Wisdom Bender. Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. All right.
So picked on here.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know he says I was going to ask.
And then the asking happens.
May I ask a question? Yes, and there's your question.
Can I make a request? RJ, can you read Doorknob Head's latest comment?
Okay, let's see it.
Oh, naked, lubed up, and halfway through a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. Get ready to rumble!
Doorknob Head,
nice.
I don't need that video. I don't need that image in my head. Thanks.
Okay.
May I make a request here?
Oh, what do you got? Sure.
That if we have the mental capability to kind of retain in our minds some of the best comments made throughout movie night, that later on in movie night we vote on the person with the best comment, and we give them some sort of a salutatory award.
A thing.
I think most often it's going to be Doorknob Head.
I love giving away things.
Or crypto.
Yeah, on Science Sunday we gave away a couple of Tesla coils.
Hi,
Cool.
I volunteered to make a cool screen as a prize for that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Should you want to do it?
All right. Now, okay. Who is signed in to the buzzer as by the time you finish reading this name I stole? Who is that? Identify yourself.
That's just part of my name. The full name is now by the time you finish reading this name I stole your virginity. So
okay.
Yeah,
Now I know. All right. Well, please, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah. So he said that just as how millions assume that of evolution to be true, like he's saying that there's like the logic that people use to believe in God. It's the same degree. It's the same degree of evidence for evolution. That's just not true. And one of the examples that I tend to use a lot is just antibiotic resistance or any other thing that you can show pretty easily in a lab, because all the mechanisms for microevolution, things that these people usually accept, they're the exact same mechanisms for macroevolution, the things that these people tend to deny. And if they're going to accept one but deny the other, then you have to somehow explain what's preventing the DNA from changing any further. I mean, it's a fucking molecule. It's like anything else. So yeah, I mean, the degree of evidence is not equal. I mean, like the mechanisms for evolution can be studied in labs. I mean, it's not that it's not that complicated. Yeah.
I agree, and I've always said microevolution plus time is macroevolution. I mean,
right.
If it continues to change, they like to say there's a hard wall at some point that keeps things from changing any further, and have never yet specified exactly what that point is. All right, I'm giving that one a not even wrong, the one that you just described, because he is. All right, and Hethkar seems to be up next. What point did you wish to address?
What I wanted to say has already been said. So instead, I'm just going to point out that he looks like he just found out what a brony is.
That works. And Peter, what have you to add?
Yeah, well, what I have to add, you need to scroll up in the chat quite a ways now, because when I buzzed, something happened. Because you said, let's wait a minute before we make a drink call. So while we all were shutting up, almost everyone in the chat was calling drink.
They told us to wait a minute.
Exactly how you figured it out, it would work.
They told us to wait a minute.
Yeah, and second of all, since I offered to make some sort of a piece of artwork for the one getting the prize for the best comment. Bo Holbo asked, like the one you made of Cap Brony and Karis Crane. So I need to justify a little bit and to maybe clarify a little bit. So the picture that currently is my avatar is the one they're talking about. Since Karis identifies herself as the pink invisible unicorn, people are thinking that the one behind Cap is Karis. But they don't take into consideration that Karis is an invisible pink unicorn. So if it would have been Karis, you wouldn't have been able to see it.
Been able to see it, yes. Well, there is scientific reasoning at work.
That is why there's a thing called paint, and you paint so you can see them.
Yes.
Okay.
But in order to paint something, you need to know where it is, which is a little bit of a difficulty if something is invisible.
Peter, see, that's why she told me where she was.
And I know for a fact that Karis will make sure to stay clear of you at all times. So
well, I want to hear what Mr. Pack has to say about sciencey stuff.
All right, let's get through. Tornado had something to throw in.
Why haven't you augmented the logical fallacy counter with the false dichotomy?
You know what? You're right. Thank you, Tornado. Yeah. I missed that one.
I do have a comment to read too whenever it gets back to my turn.
Oddly enough, you're right. Right after Tornado. So go ahead, sir.
All right. Well, I have to correct Mr. Unite for the Children on one thing. He said, "If evolution is true, show me the offspring of an elephant and a maple tree." Elephants and maple trees we know are not compatible as elephant and pine trees.
Yes.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. I was following his argument. You corrected that. Thank you. All right.
I don't know. That's a little spiky.
Oh, all right. And moving on. We're gonna do the let's let it go. Ignore the minor stupid. Because otherwise it's not gonna fit in 2 hours.
How many times have you said that? And how many times has it worked?
Good point. All right, and
we can still try.
Yeah,
I'm going to be putting Mr. Pack into my tip bibliography, so I want to have some really solid ammo from this clown.
Okay, everybody noted that. RJ's indicated he's just going to put the tip in. Okay, moving on. Here we go.
His existence. I learned it takes far more faith to believe the intellectually fashionable evolutionary myth than that God exists. In fact,
Hethkar.
That merits it. Hethkar, you're up. Yeah, we're not waiting a minute for that crap. Go ahead, Hethkar.
Really, come on.
Yeah.
More faith to believe in evolution. Seriously? And evolution is a myth.
Yeah. It takes more faith to believe that for which there is overwhelming, documented, demonstrable evidence. Yeah, I see his point. I agree with you, Hethkar. All right, Cap, what do you got?
That was it. The whole improper use of faith. Yeah. That is not what faith is.
There you go. And all right, RJ.
Wouldn't that be a false equivalent fallacy? So we can augment that.
Why are you guys?
I don't think he intended to use faith the wrong way, so I'm going to say no.
Why are you guys so hot to wedge things into
I'm calling argument from idiocy.
Well, remember, Cap, he doesn't think there is evidence for evolution.
Well, no, but he was equating faith, as in how they have it with Christianity, to faith in evolution.
Yeah, but the faith he meant for evolution is the same kind of faith that he means.
And that's why I was saying it's a false equivalency, because he's trying to equate both faiths at the same, and they aren't.
Okay.
Actually, no. Cap.
Wait a minute, everybody. Will it get you to stop talking if I augment the logical fallacy counter?
I was just asking. So,
it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. If
I'll still talk.
Oh,
I'll shut up at that point.
All right, here you go. Happy birthday.
Having the full series on my channel, I can assure you that the kind of faith he means here is the kind of faith as expressed in the Bible.
Yeah.
AKA religious faith.
He's using
Not-
faith in the same way. It's not a false equivalency. He's just wrong.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I'll. Okay, I'm wrong, I guess.
How all right. We're
He's
good
not
with that.
only wrong, he's lying.
I'm shocked. All right. I see RJ has something to add. RJ, please do.
Yeah, well, Mr. Unite says RJ always promises he'll just put the tip in, but a minute later, well, the minute's up. Pack is arguing that the scientists believe in evolution just because it's just fashionable. Yeah, like all those tens of thousands of scientists that I read who meticulously talk about the physical evidence of their discipline, who know the paleontology and the genetics, who are the ones who are really doing the work. They're just doing that just because of the same fashion that decides to wear bell bottoms or not, or to wear a particular kind of sweater. Oh, no, Mr. Pack, get real.
I wear my evolution every day. It makes me look slimmer.
Yes. Well, I use my evolution all the time because I use my mouth and my ears.
Well done. All righty. Wisdom Vendor, you have
How
something
about
to
your
add.
entertainment center located close to the plumbing?
Yeah, well, that's quite another subject matter here. Tonight,
Indeed.
Well, okay, that actually does prove engineering. It was a civil engineer who made that mistake.
All right. Wisdom Vendor, I see
It
you
was
on the
an
list.
uncivil engineer.
What have you to add, Wisdom Vendor?
Well, I think James covered it.
Okay.
And that I caught that it said evolution is intellectually fashionable. I took offense to that, and I think James covered it quite well.
Indeed, I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever seen what Jerry Coyne wears, no, fashion has nothing to do with it.
All right. And moving on. Here we go.
Learned evolution is based entirely on faith because no true facts.
Oh, look. Okay, we just have to say no, right?
I was going to say
answer.
No.
All right, you're
Asked
quite right.
and answered.
Quite right, Jared. Asked and answered. That was a nice 3-second move.
Yeah, never mind.
All right.
Asked and answered.
Okay, cool. And I'm adding that to just plain wrong.
By the way, we're gonna go for it. Please take the thing off.
All righty. Anyway.
You can see it. It's right there.
Would you calm it down there? Remember the word of the day. Peter.
Are you suggesting?
No,
Are you
I'm
suggesting?
worried he's gonna get the stream taken down. That's technically bombing.
Are you suggesting that I should do movie night naked?
All right.
Oh no! I don't think anyone in their right mind would suggest that.
That's enough out of both of you. Wisdom Vendor, please bring us some logic.
Well, I want to go back to that part one thing. He said we're going to see undisputable evidence of the existence of God in part one.
Yep.
Where's the fucking evidence?
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's coming.
Why
I'm sure
do you just keep claiming?
We're waiting for it.
I'm sure he's got
let
a
him dig
suitcase
around
full
this
of it.
colon a little more.
Well,
Gotta be up there somewhere.
I'll say this. I can answer Wisdom Vendor's question where the evidence is. It's like God. The evidence for God is like God. It doesn't exist.
Okay,
Ouch.
we're in trouble. Doorknob Head is actually voting yes for naked movie night.
Doorknob Head? No, you do not want to see that.
I'm taking it off right now.
Okay.
All
right.
Really? Stripper? Really?
All right. Let's a straw poll for naked movie night. This is just disturbing. The very thought is disturbing. Okay.
Si, if that ever happened,
afterwards.
Si, if that ever happened, would we really be the butt of the jokes?
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay. And let's move on, and hopefully he won't say something so
Maximus in 3D.
All right. Moving on. Here we go.
Have ever been found to support it. We offer an eye-opening, powerful, and inspiring brochure, Evolution, Facts, Fallacies, and Implications, that complements
maybe I can find it free on their website.
Those who read it will never again doubt the scientific
Don't forget to
case
use code
for creation
GE1.
or the silliness
It's on
of
screen,
evolution.
James. Order
Faith
free.
does play a role in the life of a Christian, for the one who truly wants to seek God and learn to please Him. Notice, Without faith, it is impossible to please him, for he that comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that do.
All right, Cap, I see you're up there. Go ahead, Cap.
Yeah, finally beat Jared. Yeah. Basically,
enjoy it while you can.
Like bullshit, you must. In order to believe the bullshit, you must want to believe the bullshit by believing the bullshit, and that makes no sense, and it's just plain wrong.
That doesn't seem like a very fair supreme being, does it? In order for me to be happy with you, you have to believe something for which I will provide zero evidence and hide throughout all eternity. It does seem like a little bit of a.
And he always wants us to please him.
Pretty much.
What's
I'm not.
He has his self-esteem issues.
Andy, well,
yes, I was going to make an off-color comment about pleasing him.
I thought about it, and I was like, no.
But
okay,
but actually, I buzzed in to make that comment because if without faith it is impossible to please God, I suggest God see his doctor, because for that condition we have either treatment or Viagra.
Yes. and I was going to point out that there are still ways that God himself reminded us earlier in the chat about how he preferred to be pleased from the Old Testament. So if you really wanted to please him, why aren't you sacrificing cattle and virgins and babies?
Well, I can answer the question. I mean, really, in all honesty, I mean, God wants you to just be face down, ass up, so he can come in and fill you with all his glory, and then he can put his son in you as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean kind of like your new avatar?
All right. We are on that point. We are now going to move on before.
I'm looking forward to that science.
Can I make just a final suggestion, Sai?
Okay, sure,
I think
Peter.
that if God really wants to be pleased, maybe it would be better for him to replace Jesus as his right hand.
All right.
That's just not done. That's wrong.
Well,
That's just plain wrong.
Well, Peter, I mean, they are okay with daughter and father doing it. Maybe son, son's hand in him.
Cap, don't go there. Don't go there. I don't want to know what you do at home.
Okay.
I was talking about God, not me.
On that note,
boot cap.
Yeah. On that note, let us move on and see what goes on here. Here we go. Moving on.
Diligently seek him. Faith is vital to a Christian. You saw that without it, no one can please God. This verse says those seeking God must be.
Peter, what?
Yeah. I just wanted to.
He said with an exasperated
point
tone.
out a comment made in the chat.
Always
Havoc had said, "So this is where all the dicks hang out." Yeah. Currently, as for me, yes,
all right.
At least one.
My name is Jim, so I don't qualify.
Hethkar, what have
My
you?
name is Tornado Pelt.
Hethkar, what do you got?
I just want to know why we should want to please him.
He's got a bit of a temper. You've read the book. He can be
jealous God.
Yeah, he can.
All the more reason not to.
Petrified of cultures that have mud brick pyramids. I tell you, that pisses him off.
Really?
Because the relationship that he's encouraging us to have with him sounds awfully abusive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Love me, or you're really not going to like what happens.
And I'm wondering.
Well, there was that problem with Lucifer. We only got one side of the story. They were going to go to marriage counseling, but I'm afraid Vishnu was busy.
On the comment that Hethkar made, I mean, I'm wondering because this week I was in a stream about polyamory. Mm-hmm. He would have fitted in with all the people pleasing him.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna have to. We need another one of the counters here. We need a counter for Peter's misplaced plugs.
No. What we need is
I didn't plug anything.
No.
I didn't even
Call
say
that, you
where
can put
it
it up,
was.
call it Plugorama.
No, Peter, if you're gonna be misplacing your baby Jesus butt plugs, I don't want to know about it.
All right, boot cap.
Nice.
Jared,
Jared,
you're on the
So-
list.
That's the thing.
Now.
Okay.
So there's a comment in the chat that I have highlighted that I'm going to read out and then respond to.
Okay.
From Apple Crow. If God demands attention, then why did he make cats? God is the ultimate cat. He wants your attention, but on his own terms. Why do you think cats are so goddamn stuck up?
And it's not just that. There's more to that parallel than you're saying. Because let us also, I've said it before, cats do not play. They look like they're playing, but it's not playing. Everything they do is practicing to kill.
Yes.
That fits
Yes.
it perfectly.
And can I say that I had the weirdest experience ever because I actually just heard caps instead of cats.
Oh, okay. That is a little weird. All right.
Why did God make caps? Because we need to boost.
Yeah, so well, this we can put that with
We needed
Laura
somebody.
as one of the acoustic mysteries of our time.
Absolutely. And I think Squirrel has something to add. Squirrel, what have you to add?
You know what? Honestly, if you want to ask the question of why did God make cats, is so that we could be turned completely psychologically numb by watching them on YouTube.
That's okay. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right.
Or have a good laugh by putting cucumbers near them.
What?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what that. Could you explain that a little further?
Yeah.
There's
That
a
goes-
there's a whole video out there of cats reacting to finding cucumbers, and it's
Interesting.
always with leaping away in terror.
Interesting. All right. See, I never could have done that because the two cats I had were Maine Coon cats, and Maine Coon cats are weird because they don't act like cats; they act like dogs. But by the size of them, 29 pounds each, 0 body fat, they probably would have just knocked the cucumber into the next room, and that would have been the end of the game.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
A Maine Coon will fuck some shit up.
Yeah. Funny thing is, they were a complete failure. It's an artificial breeding program. They were trying to come up with something to defend the smaller farm animals from raccoons and things like that. So they bred these huge cats with all kinds of muscles and powerful jaws. And on that note, it was very successful because that's exactly what they are. It's a house lion. Unfortunately, while being the greatest success ever of a breeding program, it was also the greatest failure because the first thing a Maine Coon cat thinks when he sees any other living thing is, I wonder if that thing can pet me. And that's it. All right.
There have been repeated calls to move on. Shall we do that?
We shall do exactly that. Thank you.
That's science. I'm wanting damn science.
Here comes the science of God.
Wait. Are you seriously expecting some from this guy?
It was promised.
He promised he was going to tell us all this science information that unequivocally, absolutely proves not merely a generalized deistic framework, but specifically the God of Abraham is reflected within the particular denominational structure that is his reasoned et. So I am expecting that level of precision all the way through, and I'm going to be waiting for therapsids.
And we do have to move on. We do have to move on because Doorknob Head wants more Skeletor. So we gotta...
Hey, James. James, you left out that he said he was going to do it in part 1.
Yeah. So it's all going to be right the hell here.
Because, although you think if it's absolutely conclusive in part 1, you really don't need a part 2.
Absolutely.
That was my point.
Well, you have to be complete.
All right. And Peter, what have you to briefly add?
Okay, so I'm
Subtle,
now sitting here naked due to
too much information,
to requests from all sides, and I'm having trouble already. And now the chat has gone into the gutter, talking about cucumbers and cats, and ending pretty much with pickles
Yeah, all right. We're putting truth.
Can we please start a video?
Yeah, we're putting truth of the matter to sleep, and we don't want to do that. So let's get on with the stupid. Here we go. Moving on.
Believe that he is, but a deep belief in a God who rewards all who diligently seek him requires proof of his existence. Only after proof has been nailed down can one have faith, absolute confidence that what he does is being recorded in God.
Squirrel, what have you?
You're full of shit.
Okay, that's your drink call.
We already established that.
No. Hold on.
Okay, what do you got?
Now, if you ask every believer that I've ever run into, okay, getting proof, having actual proof that God exists, denies faith.
Yeah.
Because faith is a blind action. You either believe or not. You believe without seeing the evidence, of course, and that is what this reportedly all-knowing, all-living, all what the fuck ever thing wants. If you have proof, you don't need faith.
Quite true.
Proof denies faith. Well, faith God is nothing. Now, Mr. Man, let's try that one again, shall we? Not even fucking wrong.
Okay.
Not even wrong.
I'm good with the faith thing. If
you
if
can't
would
even
just,
get your own fucking scripture right. Holy
just
shit!
say that, I'd be happier. Let it be faith. I'm good with that. All right.
I
Cap,
did
what do
have
you
one
got?
thing to add.
Go right ahead.
If in order to believe something, the truth must be nailed onto the cross. Then why the hell is he a Christian? Because Jesus was never nailed to the cross.
I'm just wondering. He said the evidence needs to be nailed down. Is that why they crucified Jesus?
I guess so.
Too.
All right, moving on.
God's
Well, they should have
mind
nailed him
to
back
be
down after he
remembered when he
rose.
receives his reward. If you are uncertain God exists because proof has not been firmly established, under fire, your faith will wane or collapse. I promise. The Apostle Paul wrote, though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many, but to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom are all things. Howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. The religions of this world have created many gods of wood, stone, and other materials.
Jared, what have you?
A bit of hypocrisy there, because there are other sections in the Bible which says that God is present in the heart of all men, and that all men are created knowing God in their heart. And yet right there he says that Paul said that not everyone knows God. Which fucking is it?
Oh, now you're not expecting a bloody Tortugan nincompoop who believes in a sky guy to actually bother about internal contradictions that he's not going to think about ever.
Oh, I know. I just love pointing out the contradictions when they show up. And by the way, Sai, take a look at the picture and screen caps.
Oh no.
Yep, the Buddhas.
Oh no. Let me get to screen caps and see what's going on here. Disturbing as this may be.
While you're doing that, I will reprise that we are currently at 15 drinks, 2 logical fallacies, 7 just plain wrongs, 2 not even wrongs, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Indeed. And, all right. On that note, let us make some progress here.
RJ, I just got one thing to say. Bah humbug.
All right, moving on. Here we go.
Boot cap.
Others exist only in the minds of men. The ancient Greeks alone served 30,000 gods, and modern Hindus worship 5 million gods. Truly, there are and...
All right, Tornado, what do you got?
They did not worship 30,000 gods. That is factually wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, but
right.
I didn't know enough to say for sure.
Mount Olympus was damn crowded.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was crowded with 30 gods and demigods.
Okay, I was going to ask if include the demigods, but...
And a demi-urge now and then.
Yes, they're the ones who invented the demi-tasse, I think. Okay, Squirrel,
Absolutely,
what have you?
yes.
All right. Now, this particular idiot is using the most broad definition of God that he could find. Anything that being anything or creature that could actually be worshipped or was at some point worshipped. There are not 5 million gods in Hindu theology. There's only about 35 or 40. And then we had a whole collection of various demons and minor creatures that would fill out perhaps another about 5,000 or 6,000. Okay.
Interesting.
Never and never in anywhere does 5 million come up. And if you want 5 million, I recommend looking to the Hebrews and the Mesopotamians. Because as it has been well documented, and yes, citations can be found if absolutely required. Jacob's house god was Yahweh, who was originally one of, I think it was 300 or 400 sons of El from Mesopotamia. So guess what? Not even fucking wrong again.
Wait, L? Oh, him. Okay, Hefcar, what do you got?
Well, we can go to L.
Big fucking god.
Hefcar, what do you got?
I just want to point out, he said the Greeks believed in 30,000 gods. I just did a Google search for how many gods did Greece have, and the first answer that comes up is 12.
Wow, that's interesting.
Well, that was 30 gods and demigods.
That's only a tiny number of difference if you ignore all the zeros he put in.
Agreed.
Still not even wrong.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he's going for the logical fallacy of lie his ass off.
By the way, I will point out that the Hindus argue that no matter which god you pray to, it's Vishnu who answers the prayer. So this poor little guy doesn't understand the true nature of religion because he is blinded by his ideology, like everybody else in this thing.
There you go. All right, Jared, what do you got?
Blinded by his idiocy.
Jared, what do you got?
So I buzzed because I would like Tornado to read this one out loud.
Okay.
There's a comment from Doorknob Head in the chat that is either right below my last two comments or sandwiched between them.
I see it. It's between them, I think.
Yep,
Did it just get weird in here, or is it just...
No, read the entire comment, Tornado.
Passionate, uncomfortable amount of love for Tornado. Did it just get weird in here, or is it just me? What the hell?
Well, earlier Doorknob Head asked where the love of his life was, and then said, "Tornado pelt, there he is."
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh, sweet mystery of life, at last we found you.
Okay.
That's
Cap,
not funny.
Cap, you have something
I wanted to make sure you felt the love, Tornado.
Cap, what do you got?
Doorknob Head comment, actually.
Yeah.
Get the L out of here.
Also good. Wisdom Vendor, what do you got?
Wisdom Vendor has presently been raptured.
Okay. All right.
I have that game. Everybody's gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Oh,
I had to find the window because I'm running two different browsers.
Okay, not a problem.
What I said earlier was, I think we should hold a prize for the best comment in chat. Yeah. And you folks are obviously showing that Doorknob Head is him. And I said that earlier.
It does seem like...
Well, that's only because Crypto isn't here.
Yeah,
Crypto's
good.
But also, I'd like to add to that about the thousands of gods thing.
Yeah.
We're not talking about thousands of gods in the mistake was the Greek or Roman mythology. It's thousands of denominations of Christianity. That's what's real.
They have 40,000 in the West alone.
All right. Very good.
Denominations, not thousands of gods.
Yeah. Good enough. Okay, moving on. Here we go.
Always have been God's many and Lord's many. Yet God created all the physical materials men use to design and make their own gods. Sadly, there is not in every man.
Okay, Squirrel, what have you briefly to add?
Citation fucking needed.
That was nice and brief. I'm good with that. Moving on. Here we go.
Knowledge of the true God. such incredible ignorance and confusion. The Bible's God has shown the way to peace.
Jared, what do you got?
You are basking in ignorance and confusion because of this one question alone. Which is the true God, the one of the Old Testament or the one of the New?
Yeah, indeed. Can't be the same guy. Most certainly not. All right. And RJ, what have you to add, sir?
Yeah, this is one that I, of course, have a terrible trepidation about asking, but how far are we into the video?
You had to do it, didn't you? Well, thanks to you, bunch, we're at a grand total of 6 minutes and 31 seconds. Thank you very much. And remember,
so
we
he's only got 20 some odd minutes to give us this incontrovertible science evidence that I'm just really itching for.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying.
Especially the paleontology part.
Let stuff go, or we're never going to get through this. So
would it be fair to say you're going tick, 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 tick?
All right.
Yes,
nice. Keep your pants on.
My little ticker and other parts of my body are just revving and ready to hear about all that science stuff.
Excellent. All right. Cap, what do you got?
I was just going to say, he wants to claim his God is the one true God and all these other are false. How does he know his God is the real God?
Well, because it said so.
The book, you
but the Bible
earlier.
said so.
Yeah, Bible said
how do we know
also
the Bible's real?
All right.
Who are you going to trust? Everybody else's written word or the written word that already was written by somebody that said it was the written word?
That makes good sense. All right, Jared, what have you?
Havoc, AP, stop interrupting my Bible lesson. It's the only way I can get into heaven if it exists.
And we're seeing an awful lot of Cap.
Harry,
you might want to check out the hashtag. What do you got? Yeah.
I already see that.
Yeah, I think we can go for a skip. I think you can jump ahead a couple minutes at least.
Yeah.
This guy sounds like he's going to be spooling out theology here long before he gets to Thrapsids.
I believe so. And we will do a jump. So let us quickly go through. Peter, what have you to add?
Yes, I want to respond to the claim that the Greeks have 12 gods. Is anyone aware, and is he even aware, that the Bible mentions 34, which is a little bit more than the Greek had?
There you go. That is quite okay. Very good. Cap, annoy us. Go ahead.
It was the Harry skip.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, and we'll do that very thing. What do you think, guys? 5 minutes?
Yeah,
that sounds good.
How about 20?
Cap, that's it. I'm not booting you. You got a 10-minute free pass. All right, here's a speaking of that.
Sorry, is that 10 minutes video time?
No, real minutes. Real minutes. All right, here we go. We're doing the skip. And how much you want to bet we land right in the middle of another one of his commercials? All right, here we go. Skipping. Oh, here we go. Ready? Look, there's something sciencey going on here. Something
from
sciencey.
That notable science journal, the Wall Street Journal.
Absolutely. Here we go. You know what? Let's back it up so we can hear what he says about this.
Yeah, I want to hear the context for this. I'm all ripping.
I don't want to hear fine tuning. Yeah. Anybody had a sunburn recently? How's that for fine tuning, you bastard? Okay, here we go.
Compared with the fine tuning required for the universe to exist at all.
Want to bet, Cap? I got some kerosene over here. Moving on.
For example, astrophysicists now know that the values of the 4 fundamental forces, gravity, the electromagnetic force, and the strong and weak nuclear forces, were determined less than 1/1,000,000th of a second after the Big Bang. Alter any one value, and the universe could not exist.
All right.
For instance,
we have a drink call. Wisdom Vendor has buzzed in first. What have you to add, sir?
Well, I want to add that he actually makes the same fucking claim that all astrophysicists make, or theoretical physicists make. Gravity is not a fucking force.
Agreed.
It's an acceleration. I am sorry, people, if that pisses you off, but it's the fucking truth. Look at the units. If the units piss you off, then you're fucking wrong, and you're pissed off for no reason.
Well, hold on. Now, that's
what
how it's
what unit is the gravitational constant?
Not the gravitational constant. He said gravitation. That's not what he said. Gravitation is an acceleration. Gravitational constant is totally different units. It is a force.
And had he said gravity, that also would have clarified it a little
I
don't quibble with him on that because gravity is included amongst the four fundamental forces.
Actually, the gravitational constant is not a force. When combined with mass squared over distance squared, it becomes a force.
There we go.
Even the gravitational constant is not a force.
Yeah.
All right. RJ, what have you to add?
Well, the thing is, this is very common. This pegs him in a frame because no young Earth creationist is going to be talking about the Big Bang with a happy face because they're insistent that the Big Bang didn't happen at all. So Mr. Pack has just flushed tons of devout Christians, including Ken Ham, right down the toilet with that argument. I think I have that Wall Street Journal thing in my bibliography, and what it is it was a nice piece to defend the kind of vague, squishy anthropic argument, but there's a teeny tiny little problem with it. The Bible never describes the Big Bang. Nobody prior to the 20th century ever read Genesis and said, oh, wow, clearly the universe began in a singularity 13 billion years ago and that our present star system was developed 10 billion years after that. No, this is post hoc rationalizations on a colossal scale and means they're just flushing down the toilet the day 4 bit where the sun and the moon and the stars are made after plants and the earth. No. So we can rule out, if he's going to use this argument, we can be absolutely certain that the God of Abraham, as described in the Bible, cannot possibly be the God they're referring to.
Yeah, RJ, I have a question. You talked about him flushing down other creationists down the toilet. And you mentioned Ken Ham. Are we flushing Ken Ham with the Ark encounter?
Yeah, along with all the other thing. And while we're at it, Kent Helbin.
You might need a plunger for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a lot of shit to force down the toilet.
Agreed. All right,
so this I'll be looking to see how much he falls into the standard intelligent design frame in his apologetic site when I get onto his little website there. He ain't going to be citing answers in Genesis, or if he does, he gets a hypocrisy alert.
All righty, Hefcar, what do you got?
I just want to correct the statement that's on the screen right now. The universe as we know it could not exist, which, well done. You pointed out that if the universe weren't the same as it is now, it wouldn't be the same as it is now.
The old, if things were different, things would be different argument. Very nice.
Yeah, there's an old parody of Gilbert and Sullivan by a singer back in the 50s, and she did a parody of it which says, things would be so different if things were not as they are. And that's exactly the kind of argument that they're presenting.
Pretty much.
We don't know that any of the constants of the universe can be changed any more than that 1 + 1 is arbitrarily equal to 2.
And again, even if they can be, that just means that the universe as we know it would be different. Not necessarily that no universe would exist at all.
Absolutely.
Or that any gods are involved, or that only a single God is involved, or that a single God as described in his version of the Old Testament, which is not the one that Ken Ham agrees with.
There you go.
Right.
All right. I see we have Squirrel wishing to add something. Go ahead, Squirrel.
Well, given that I was the one that called drink, I suppose I should say something, right?
Please do.
Anyway, our little friend here is about to break out the Strobel argument. If we had a yardstick as long as the universe is wide, and we moved the gravitational constant or any specific constant 1 inch to the left or right, the universe as we know it could not exist. Complete tautology. Now, just to give you kind of a little bit more rundown here, the 4 fundamental forces he's describing are, in fact, the four fundamental interactions, for lack of a better term. The strong and weak nuclear forces, electromagnetism, and gravity. However,
once again, gravity is not a force.
You don't need to belabor that, because standard cosmology texts, standard textbooks, when they list off the 4 fundamental forces, they always include gravity. So this is not.
And they are fucking wrong.
Well,
we're aware that it's not a force. It's just
we keep on listing them.
Gravitation may be what you describe.
It is not. Please hush for a minute. I heard you initially. Believe me, I heard you. I'm going to go with the textbook for right now. Whether it is technically wrong or not is irrelevant at this point. Everybody here will understand the word gravity.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Clear? Thank you. Now, moving on, he is once again about to make the Lee Strobel argument. If we move something just a little bit this way or that, which is not actually a thing that's possible, then he's going to be stuck. Now, for the record, gravity or gravitation, whichever words you happen to want to be pedantically insisting on today, is not actually a function. It's not required in quantum calculations, and in fact is oftentimes excluded. To a point, there's also been some research that stated that the universe without the weak nuclear force would be very much like the one we have right now. It wouldn't matter.
Squirrel, by the way, just drawing your attention. Squirrel, just drawing your attention to in the public comments. Heat Shield is asking, "Is Squirrel sick today? Get better soon, Squirrel." Yes,
I've been sick for a while now.
He's been sick for quite a while.
Just slowly.
Indeed,
I thought you slowly enough to try to yell over people to finish the thought.
All right. Well, hey, here's an idea. Why don't we all calm the fuck down a bit? Okay. And on that note, here, let's see. Look at that. Peter,
one more thing, son.
What do you got?
One more thing, son.
What do you got?
1 + 1 is not arbitrarily 2. It is not arbitrarily 2. 1 + 1 is 2 by definition. And there is a Martin 81 video in which he goes into it in some detail.
Indeed.
He puts the entire proof out there.
The uses of the words 1 and 2 are arbitrary, but by definition, you're right. Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, Peter, you have something to briefly add as well. What do you got?
Well, my point already was addressed in pretty much the same way as I would have addressed it. But
cool.
Since I'm here, I have a question.
Okay.
There's a certain hashtag that is becoming extremely popular in the chat. Shouldn't we have that in the comment of the video and then ask people to share that everywhere online? Because of the popularity.
You want to see?
Just asking. I'm not saying anything out loud.
You want to see boot cap in the
Why
description?
do you want to boot me, Peter?
If
I'm not around, they're going to.
You know what? Cap.
Hold on.
Cap.
Hold on. Where did I ever mention booting you? I said a hashtag was popular.
The only hashtag that's popular in the chat is boot cap.
Cap.
Wait a minute. So that hashtag is meant that people actually want to see you ejected from the stream? Is that what you're saying?
And Cap, to answer your question, you wanted to know. You asked a question.
No, they just want Cap's boots.
Epistemology works. It makes you think about what you just said, and if what you just said was actually the smartest thing to say.
Oh, boot cap. Jay Brown says boot cap is on Twitter. Nice. What's with the tunes?
Really?
Whoever's got the tunes, knock it off. All right. It's and let's move on. We got to get through this. We've got like not a lot of time left. What?
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm going to put a link to the video in question right here in the chat, and I'm going to put it in our internal chat and in the public chat.
Okay. Very good. All right, let's move on, and we're running out of time.
Once we're done with this guy, we should really watch that to actually look at it all. It's 3 minutes total.
How about we get on with this video, everybody? What do you think?
Yes.
Moving on.
If the ratio between the nuclear strong force and the electromagnetic force had been off by the tiniest fraction of the tiniest fraction, by even 1 part in 100 followed by 15 zeros, then no stars could have ever formed at all. Stunning. Multiply that.
What you got, Peter?
I want to see that clarified because I have no clue how much is a tiny fraction of a tiny fraction of just a little bit, or whatever the hell he said just now.
Agreed.
He did
And
give
in
clarification.
what unit of measurement is he talking?
He said tiny bits. He told you the units.
Tiny bits of what? I mean,
That is the unit. I've never heard you ask meters what, meters of what. No, you just say tiny bits. There's your unit. Okay, Cap, what do you
yeah, but
got?
you have a tiny bit of something. I mean,
Nope, just tiny
if
bits.
if the universe was just altered by a tiny bit of a tiny bit of a minuscule portion of ice cream, would that make any difference?
It might.
This
All
guy's
right.
talking nonsense.
You think?
I actually that's actually what my buzz call is for. Is
Okay,
actually to
cool.
address that point, Peter.
All
See,
right.
he gave you a one in however many zeros it said it needed to be followed. See, what he's doing there is giving you a tolerance that you can work in. So any factor that you want to put in, no matter what the unit, you have the tolerance to work off of.
All right.
So
Yeah. Well, Cap, let me tell you something. When it comes to you telling me stuff, I have zero tolerance. Does that count?
that's actually not specific enough because you need a plus or minus gauge ratio. So what is the actual tolerance?
I'll read the chat to you. Hashtag bootcap.
All right, moving on.
Let's move on.
Hefcar, what do you got?
Again, just to point out that even if that statistic were right, which I don't believe it is, but even if it were, then we'd have a universe without stars. We'd probably have a universe with more planets.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. And by the time, what do you got?
He's been raptured.
Oh my, that's unfortunate. Hello.
He's busy stealing virginities.
Could be. All right. We'll come back to you. RJ, what do you got?
Well, first off, I was going to comment about maybe a lot of people listening don't necessarily know what the hell the four forces are and why they matter and how they connect up. The strong nuclear force is the one that holds the nucleus of the atom together. The weak nuclear force is the one that's involved with radioactive decay. Electromagnetism is kind of we're familiar with. We're using it to see with our eyeballs and all that. But that weak nuclear force, in the Big Bang, there were no separate forces. All of the forces were lumped together into one super force. And as the universe expanded and cooled, the forces began to separate out, and that allowed matter to be constructed and all the rest. So there, even today in the physics, they refer to electroweak, which is the electromagnetic force, and the weak nuclear force, which at a high energy level that you can get at in some of the particle accelerators, you can actually fuse the two forces together, and they're no longer a separate force. Gravity is the most fundamental of the ones, and the quantum theorists haven't been able to work out a quantum theory of gravity, and gravitation hasn't been able to work out a relativistic version of quantum theory. So the two are kind of at odds. But the other point is that Steven Weinberg has written essays on the thing that there's a lot of different fine-tuning values. Some of them are not nearly as fine-tuning as others. It is fair to say that if, for example, gravity were stronger than it would be, you wouldn't form quite the same universe that we have now. If it were weaker, you might have a thing, you might not form stars at all. And there is a narrow tolerance for a lot of these things. It is indeed just a tiny fraction for some of these factors. But we don't know that any of those can in fact vary, or that even gods can make them vary. So if the physical forces of the universe are absolutely fixed together as a unified thing in the same way that mathematics is, there is no fine-tuning. And so this is entirely a presuppositional argument.
Okay.
James, can I respond?
Yeah.
May the force be with you.
Yes, well, in this case, fine-tuning arguments are may the farce be with you.
That works. All right. And
Or may the foe be with you.
Wisdom Vendor has something to add. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting James to go on such an onload, but he's exactly right in most of what he said. And I'd also like to add that most people here did not hear what the guy in the video said. He actually used an exponent. He said 10 to the 40th power.
Wow.
if none of y'all apparently heard that,
Oh my!
if it varies to 10 to the 40th power, well, yeah. If it depends on 10 to the 40th power, shit's gonna change.
I would think.
Yeah.
Oh, just slightly.
I was reading.
That's
Yeah,
what I heard in the video.
you're right.
Si, feel free to back the video up just to like 10 or 15 seconds.
All right, let's see what we got here. Back it up to here. This is before that. Here we go.
Electromagnetic force have been off by the tiniest fraction of the tiniest fraction, by even 1 part in 100 followed by 15 zeros, then no stars could have ever formed.
All right, it appears that his 1 in. I think that may have been.
No. He's not got to the point where he says 10 to the 40.
All right, let's go.
At all. Stunning. Multiply that single parameter by all the other necessary conditions, and the odds against the universe existing are so heart.
Okay, I think we're past the point you were talking about at this point. But with statistics again, you know what? We'll just to save time. Let's augment drink and
ridiculous number, but I think he said 10 to the 40th.
Yeah, let's augment drink, and we'll do just plain wrong because the odds of anything are ridiculously high. The odds of me sitting here talking to all you fine folk are near zero if you consider everything that had to happen for me to get here.
Agreed.
So, Squirrel, what do you got, sir?
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Obviously the probability of the universe existing as it is right now is 1. Why? Because it has happened. It did happen, and we can't actually prove that El Allah Yahweh had a fucking thing to do with it.
There you go.
Okay.
And yes, we do have evidence that it
numbers
exists.
You want, but it does not. But the fact is inescapable. You cannot say, "Well, these are the chances of this." You don't know that, and you can't know that. The chances of this thing happening is 1. Why? Because it did happen.
Because it happened.
We have direct evidence of that.
Data sample of 1.
There you go. All right, and Cap, annoy us.
Yeah, I was going to read a comment by Factard.
Oh, go ahead.
How about the eagle eye? That's a force. Worked on my English teacher. And Squirrel, I have a question for you. How do you know the universe is real? I mean, are you sure you're not a brain in a vat?
All right, enough of that. Jared, what do you got?
I absolutely hate that argument, but it's fun to use.
Yeah, Jared, what do you got?
So I'm glad we went back and brought up the whole tiniest of a fraction thing, because Doorknob had tiny fraction. He was inspired by looking in his shorts.
Tiny fraction.
And once again, I vote Doorknob Head, top commenter of the night.
So far,
he is in the running, but keep in mind, Mr. Unite for the Children does have a history, and he is active in the chat.
Yes, I think he may have been holding off so far.
Yeah, the only one who could even rival those two is Crypto, and I would hands down say Crypto wins. I mean,
but Crypto is not here tonight.
So. I know.
We have to go by the comments. All right, let us move. Let's see who we got. Hey, good news, everybody. I think I know who this tone represents. And let me check to make sure. It is, in fact, Karis is joining us. Everybody,
awesome.
Welcome, Karis.
Welcome,
Karis. Welcome, Karis. Glad you joined us.
Hi.
Thank you for jumping in.
Karis.
All right. And let's see. To get through all this, let's see. Who do we got next? Jared, did we cover you? Jared, you got anything?
I said my piece.
Okay. Hethkar?
Just to maybe help clarify a little bit on what Squirrel was saying, is that you can't make a statistic if you don't have anything to compare it to.
Yes, you can.
Example of 1.
And he has. All right.
And so it begins.
Indeed. And Karis, was that a test buzz, or do you have something to add?
That was an I'm here in the background buzz.
You're not in the background anymore. Look down.
You're in the foreground.
Look down.
What are you buzzed?
Look down right below where you're sitting. That's the spot, and you're on it. So, all right. Let us move on. You know what? we've got like 11 minutes left to the 2-hour mark. We're doing another jump. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Because this guy is just trotting out traditional old Earth apologetics. I mean, you Ross is more exciting than this guy.
Indeed.
A great comment is
yes?
boot camp.
Boot camp.
James, I hate to break it, but the entire series is him.
Peter, what the fuck?
Indeed. And I
Peter.
based on
Peter, what the fuck?
What?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, mate? Look at your fucking thumbnail.
Yep.
I actually pulled that up to clarify something because people seem to think that that's you in that particular.
Pinkie Pie doesn't have a horn.
All right.
That's just Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
We're doing the
She
jump.
doesn't have a horn.
And I explained earlier in this show, actually, because people in the chat were asking if that was you. I explained that you are, in fact, invisible. So it couldn't have been you, because if it was you, you wouldn't have seen the second character in the picture.
All right. On that point, let's get going so we can get. We're gonna have to knock it
All
off
you
soon.
would see is Cat being drug away with his legs spread apart. I mean, that came out wrong.
No. All right. That was perfect.
Here comes the jump.
I'm not touching that.
That was perfect.
Uh-oh. Look what we jumped into. We did another.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
This
Sorry
is gonna be
about
good.
your revenue, Sai.
These things happen.
It's
all right.
Wait. Hey, hang on, guys. He's going to fuck up the laws of thermodynamics. Yes. Let's see how badly he does it.
Here they go. Cap.
Can I point out the chat just real short?
Go ahead.
Mr. Unite for the Children says, I think Peter what the fuck should win the quote of the night tonight. Everyone second that.
All right. Somebody add that. Yeah, somebody add
Seconded.
that to the Discord
Already
server
done.
as well. Okay, perfect. All right, let's see how he damages the laws of thermodynamics.
I'm calling preemptive drink just plain wrong.
Well, let's let him.
For
Let's let him
me, I
screw it
have
up.
a drink here.
Nice. All right. And on that note, moving on. Here we go.
Dynamics is matter and energy can be neither created nor destroyed. No natural processes can alter either matter or energy in this way. This means there is no new.
Go ahead.
He left out a part. Matter and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. They can only be converted into forms of each other or the same.
Yeah, funny how he skipped over that, isn't it? All right, Karis, what have you to add?
Only that I saw a set of pugs on a musical bong thing earlier today. I thought it was really funny.
Okay, very good. Cap, what do you got?
Yeah, and the laws of thermodynamics, at least as far as he's using them, they work on closed systems.
Another good point. And that's where we were throwing that into not even, because he clearly has no understanding of that when he speaks. Peter, what have you to briefly add?
I have something to briefly add, but I have a question first. Can you back up the video maybe a few seconds so we can make that statement he just made about the first law of thermodynamics and have that visible?
Sure. There you go. Good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we can keep it here. We don't need him to say it again, because to me the guy is as revolting as William Lane Craig. But so what we have here is a statement that he made and that he thinks is accurate. Matter and energy can be neither created nor destroyed. So what I'm asking this guy is, can you now explain Genesis to me? Because you disproved your own God right here.
Well, that's true, except when God does it, obviously.
Yes, there's the God did it card they can play whenever
No,
something.
it doesn't say unless God did it in the quote. I'm calling bullshit here. He disproved his own God.
Well,
that works.
Remember, God made the rules. He can break them too.
Of course. And let us see.
Peter, you're forgetting the definition of miracle.
A
miracle is by its very definition, a suspension in the rules of nature.
All right, and let's move on to Wisdom Bender. What have you to add?
Well, it seems that I may be one of the few people here that actually reads up on the cutting edge of quantum electrodynamics.
Okay.
It seems that in the volume of nothingness, as most people refer to it, there is a certain mass weight, and virtual particles exist long enough to actually transfer energy and be gone long enough such that they cannot be measured in existence, which allows for quantum space to actually have energy. Now, I know this sounds like bullshit. It sounds like magic.
Okay.
But I have actually looked into this, and I know, and I'm right there with you on the first law of thermodynamics. And I thought it was true as hell from day one. But it's kind of being violated on the quantum electrodynamic scale. You might want to look into this.
Yeah, it tends to get funky at the quantum level.
Yeah, it really does. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying that the first law is wrong, but it's a matter of it comes down to a matter of the time scale of being able to measure the amount of energy transfer. And you just might want. All I'm saying is look into it.
And
it may not be as strict as we think it is.
I've always thought that the laws of thermodynamics in general are a little too simplistic to explain everything.
Yeah,
so I would not object. I would not object to what you were describing at the moment.
Well, it actually allows for the formation of a bust into our expansion of our universe. And it allows for the expansion or the creation, the Big Bang, and to start with.
Yep.
So I don't know a lot about it. I'm just saying that I think the first law of thermodynamics is true within a totally closed system, but I don't think we have a real definition of a closed system.
No. And actually, speaking to that point about the virtual particles and everything, both in the internal chat and out in the public chat, I threw a link to a PBS Spacetime. PBS Spacetime episode where they talk about the nature of nothing, and it is all about the virtual particles.
Yeah, and it's about measuring the time that they exist,
which
can't measure that
which
time.
is tiny.
Yeah, it is. We're right down to the Planck constant.
Yep.
Hey guys, somebody define just basics for anybody listening without a science background in at least this particular. What is a virtual particle? Just that.
This kind of thing is hard to dumb down. I'm sorry, but it really is. It really is. Can anyone here dumb it down?
I don't need dumbing down. Just
no. That's exactly what you're asking. You realize what you are.
To put it quite simply, a virtual particle is a particle similar to a photon or electron with significantly tiny mass. That
wait, you messed up there because photons have no mass. Electrons are defined to have
positrons, things like that.
Just let them finish the definition.
I was using those as a known equivalent for people to realize just how tiny these virtual particles are. And they blip into existence and then back out. And their effect on the space around them has resulted in a quantifiable measurement, albeit tiny, in the overall energy level of the void of space.
For a short time.
Yes.
So something like having, say, both mass and wavelength, for instance, something like that, except not exactly that.
It's more about momentum. It's not about mass or wavelengths. It's about momentum.
It's about the motion of the ocean.
And it looks like they're right. Boot Camp does seem to be getting big on Twitter. Looks like we started something. All right.
Wait, really?
I just looked. Go search for the hashtag. Anyway, we got to get. We're at 158. You know what? We got to wrap it up.
I apologize, but I actually study this sort of thing on a regular basis.
All right. And guys, we're going to shut it down to stay under the 2 hours, and we'll be back. We're going to continue after this, right? The big question is, are we going to continue with this crap or move on to the next video? What do you all think?
Move on to the next video.
I'm all. That's perfect. That's fine. All right, everybody.
I looked up Pack Up online. He's an offshoot of Garner Ted Armstrong's old Worldwide Church of God. He's got this thing is from a TV series that he started up around 2000. They have a whole bunch of CDs to teach the gospel through music, including stuff for karaoke play.
Okay,
so
we've got 30 seconds. We're killing it. We'll come back and we'll cover everything then. We've got 30 seconds to make it 2 hours. Here we go. Bye, everybody.
Gotcha.
And we'll be back in a few minutes.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Banter, go.
I just wanted to add banter, and here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bye, everybody. We'll be right back.